In this video, I'm going to show you the 4 strategic areas where I use AI to do the heavy lifting. Before we dive into it, let me give you an overview of the system I use to make $500 to $2,500 commissions without funnels, paid ads, or a big following, which I call the six-figure freedom operating system, which you see right now on your screen. If you want my personal help to install this system in your business, there's a link below with the details of my six-figure freedom accelerator. If you are on Facebook, it's in the comments. If you are on YouTube, it's in the description. Okay? So you have the system in front of you right now, and this is the system I use to make $500 to $2,500 commissions without funnels, paid ads, or a big following. And I call it the six-figure freedom operating system. It has 3 phases. First phase, unlimited free traffic. Second phase, buyer activation engine. And the third phase, techless conversion. Okay? In the first phase, unlimited free traffic, we get 10 to 15 new perfectly targeted leads every single day in only 45 minutes. And we do this by first engineering your ideal customer. Because if you don't know who your ideal customer is, it's hard for you to get targeted leads because you don't know who those leads are. You don't know who the people who need your offer are. Okay. So it's important that you first engineer your ideal customer so you know exactly who the people who need your offer are, and then you can go to the right places to find the right people. Okay, so when you know your ideal customer, then we go to Facebook, to the places where those people are hanging out, for example groups, pages, and we start bringing those people to your following. Okay, and that's how you start getting perfectly targeted leads. You engineer your ideal customer, you go to the places on Facebook where they are hanging out, and you start bringing them to your following. That's the first phase. As you start getting these perfectly targeted leads, they start seeing what you share. And that's when we enter the second phase, which is the buyer activation engine. In this phase, we generate ready to buy leads with just one post per day. Okay. And we do this by sharing written posts and 5 to 10-minute videos with the goal of generating these ready to buy leads. What is a ready to buy lead? A ready to buy lead is someone who raises their hand on your content and says, I want to learn more about what you have to offer. And this can be by them commenting on your post and saying, I want to learn more, or them reaching out to you directly saying, I want to learn more. Okay, so this is the second phase, the buyer activation engine. You make one post per day, which can be written content or 5 to 10-minute videos, and you generate ready to buy leads. As you start getting these ready to buy leads, that's when we enter the third phase, which is the techless conversion. Here we convert leads into $500 to $2,500 commissions in 5 messages. Okay, so you get a ready to buy lead and you initiate a conversation with them in Messenger. You send 5 messages and you put your offer in front of them, and then if they buy, you make a $500 to $2,500 commission. Okay, so that's basically the third phase. You get ready to buy lead, you send 5 messages, put offer in front of them, and if they buy, you make a commission. Okay, so this is the six-figure freedom operating system. It's a system I use to make $500 to $2,500 commissions without funnels, paid ads, or a big following. Now let's dive into the 4 areas where I use AI to do the heavy lifting. Okay, the first area is in the niche. Okay, I have an AI tool to quickly uncover your interests and experience and perfectly match them to a niche. Okay, this is in this piece here. Before you find an offer to promote, it's important that you identify a niche, that you pick a niche to focus on to build your business. Because if you try to find an offer to promote without identifying a niche, you don't know where to look. You need to first identify the niche, the market that you are going to focus on, and then go to that niche and find offers, find an offer to promote inside that market. Okay, and a lot of people get stuck in picking a niche because they overthink, because there are too many options, which is normal. When we are starting, we are overwhelmed. There is so much information and there are so many niches to pick from. Okay, so a lot of people get stuck in this step of picking a niche, and they spend weeks and sometimes months not being able to pick anything and not making progress in their businesses. Okay, and how I recommend that you pick your niche is based on 2 things. The first thing is your interests, and the second thing is your experience. Okay, so thinking about your interests, your passions, what do you enjoy, and then your experience, your knowledge. Okay, those 2 things, and then the intersection of those things, focusing on the intersection of those things to pick your niche, the intersection of your interests with your experience, okay? And then match that to a niche. And that's why I created the tool this way. The tool uncovers your interests in the experience and then matches those interests and that experience perfectly to a niche. Okay, that's the first area where I'm using AI. The second area where I'm using AI is for the ideal customer. I have an AI tool to analyze your offer, precisely engineer your ideal customer, and pinpoint exactly where to find them. This is what I was referring to here in the unlimited free traffic phase. The first step is identifying your ideal customer, because if you don't know who those people are, it's hard for you to know who the people you need in your following are. Okay, so what the tool does is it looks at your offer and then it engineers your ideal customer and tells you exactly where to find those people on Facebook. Okay, so you always know where to go to find the right people. And if you don't know who your ideal customer is and you don't know where to go to find them, you'll have the wrong people in your following. And if you have the wrong people in your following, you have the wrong people consuming your content. If you have the wrong people consuming your content, you will not generate ready to buy leads. If you don't generate ready to buy leads, you'll not be able to convert and make commissions. Okay, so that's the second area, ideal customer, and my tool analyzes your offer, engineers your ideal customer, and pinpoints exactly where to find those people. The third area where I'm using AI is content. I have an AI tool to get unlimited ideas and help you create content fast. Okay, so this is in the second phase, in the buyer activation phase. Here we are making one post per day, which can be written posts or 5 to 10 minute videos. My AI tool gives you unlimited content ideas, so you always know what to say. You never run out of things to say in your content, and that's a common roadblock people have. They don't know what to say in their content. And the second thing it does, as I said, is it helps you create content fast, so you don't spend hours and hours and hours creating a piece of content. Okay, so that's the third area, content. The fourth area where I'm using AI is conversations. I have an AI tool to tell you precisely what to say in every step of the conversation. And this is in the third phase here, in the techless conversion. When you generate a ready to buy lead, you initiate a conversation with those people and you send these 5 messages to generate a conversion. Okay, and what this tool does is it tells you exactly what to say in every step based on the responses you are getting from that lead, so you can move the conversation forward and eventually get to the point where you present your offer and you close the sell. Okay, and this is again another step where a lot of people get stuck, is they don't know what to say next in the conversation, or they don't know how to respond to a specific message they get from a lead. And this tool helps you do that, tells you exactly what to say in every single step of the conversation. Okay, so to recap the 4 areas where I'm using AI to do the heavy lifting. First one, niche. I have an AI tool to quickly uncover your interests and experience and perfectly match them to a niche. Second one, ideal customer. I have an AI tool to analyze your offer, precisely engineer your ideal customer, and pinpoint exactly where to find them. The third area is content. I have an AI tool to get unlimited ideas and help you create content fast. And the fourth area is conversations. I have an AI tool to tell you precisely what to say at every step of the conversation. If you'd like to get these AI tools and my personal help to install the operating system, there's a link below with the details of my 6-figure freedom accelerator. If you are on Facebook, it's in the comments. If you are on YouTube, it's in the description.